All right. Hey, everybody. I'm your host, El Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat. And this is 1995, The Room, channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring the roar. Today, we got a little pregame live stream show for you guys. Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers. We head out to the desert, baby. Who will win? So, tell of two different stories when it comes to this matchup. You got the Cardinals, who just coming off a week 1 win, and you got the Panthers, who still look like the Panthers, unfortunately, here. Okay. Before we get into that, I'll be remiss without mentioning our sponsor today. Shout out to Live on Assist. If you guys would, I got it pinned in the Q&A section in the chat. Make sure you go over there and follow me, okay? Q&A, it says Live on Assist. We will be having our watch party on YouTube as usual. So if you don't want to do it, I understand. But if you want live stream, spoiler-free reaction to the actual game, and you can sync it up to the actual moment to where it matches up with your TV. So if my internet is faster than yours, my internet is slower than yours, but you still like my take, you like my bravado, whatever you like, you can actually sync it up, okay? So you don't miss a take or have the chat spoil it for you, okay? So head over there today at 4:05 Eastern. We will be live on Assist. Shout out to the sponsor. Make sure you follow that profiles, okay? So we will be multi-streaming. That's all I'm saying there. Good guys there. Oh, let's go ahead and get started here. I will drop the link here in just a minute. It's 11:01. I don't want to hold you guys too long. Give you about an hour, maybe a little bit over. Rules over here, just to be sure, just to kind of reiterate, when you're on the stream, when I let you up, please monitor your cussing and stuff like that. Not to say that you can't let one out. It's football, right? I don't want to be, but let's monitor that and monitor our vulgarity. Um, Let me start with the lock of the week. If you guys are into betting on props and stuff, I got a guaranteed prop of the week for you guys who I believe will hit. Last week I went 0 for 2 from the same guy. I had T Mac over 11 fantasy point. He got 9. And I had T Mac over 23 and a half longest reception. He stopped at 21. So hopefully we can rebound from last week. But today's prop of the week I will give you is Bryce Young under 32 passing attempts. Now, last week he had over 35 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the comeback effort that fell short. But I feel like the recipe to beat the Arizona Cardinals, in which we played well in the past, is to put the ball on the ground in Chuba's hand. So with that recipe and that formula from what we've seen in the past, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm taking Bryce Young under 32 and a half passing attempt. If you want to, you feel good about it, pair that with a free Travis Kelce lock on Prize Pick. I think the FanDuel, not FanDuel, I think Underdog has a free Saquon Barkley square that just dropped, okay? Saquon Barkley square just dropped for free. Hit that and take Bryce Young under and make sure you hit the cash app, baby, when you win, okay? So that's my lock of the week. Bryce Young under 32 and a half passing attempts. I got him right at 30. Y'all gonna be surprised, man. Big Cat's a guru. Got him at 32 passing. I mean, got him at 30 passing attempts on today. Let me know how you feel in the comment section about that. That being said, let me kind of give you an overview of what we know, where we at with it, y'all. Damn. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me give you an overview of what we know so far. The Carolina Panthers went to Jacksonville and got tore up real nice, like, right? I said week 1 was a must-win game, and I still feel like today's a must-win game. You know what I mean? In the past, the Panthers played well by running and establishing the run game. But this Cardinal teams, man, this is one of these teams you want to catch later in the season rather than early. They went to New Orleans and they had over 6 sacks in New Orleans. So this is their home opener. I'm expecting for them to play inspired. And Spencer Rattler is a young quarterback. Obviously, he only had 1 year experience. Bryce is on his 3rd year experience. But to me, they kind of similar, have that same mindset and playing stuff, you ask me. So I'm expecting for them to come at the Bryce all day and every day. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Ikem Ekwonu is out. Okay. This Arizona Cardinal team is streaky though. You know, it's one of these teams where you can see they're madly inconsistent. They get off to a good start, but they also choke away a lead too. We've seen this in the past. With them coming off a road win, coming back at home, I don't expect for them to drop off too much. I do still expect for the Carolina Panthers to move the ball on them, all right? Their defense was able to get after Spencer Rattler and that New Orleans Saints team here. The key to today's game is limiting big play, big explosion, But even with that, that doesn't guarantee you a win because for the most part, the Saints did that as well. Kyler Murray was efficient, but he wasn't explosive, and he still had a solid game, throwing for 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, although I would like to sit here and say, we can contain this guy, contain that guy, we got our chances are better, but still, we got to do our part. We got to force takeaways and things of that nature. Although they didn't have a lot of yardage, they were efficient in the red zone when they get in there. They came away with 2 tutties, as I said earlier. Okay, Marvin Harrison Jr., the second-year man, has came out looking good, man. So I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. They got his line at 55 and a half receiving yards. I think J.C. Horn locks him up today. I think he locks him up today, man. Okay, now J.C. Horn's one of these guys where, when healthy, he's probably one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And after week one's performance against Brian Thomas Jr., we all can agree that Brian Thomas Jr. is better than Marvin Harrison, right? We can agree with that, right? Yes, I hope you would notice that. So with that performance on Brian Thomas Jr., I'm buying all in on J.C. Horn to lock up Marvin Harrison. Okay, so if that happens, then who's going to get the main target share? Then it's probably Trey McBride. We seen what Brent Strange did to the secondary. You are what you put on tape, right? If you show that you can't guard tight ends, that's what you are on tape. That's who you are. So if I'm the Cardinals offensive coordinators, then I'm smart and I'm going back and see what's on tape. Brent Strange carved these guys up. I'm riding high on Trey McBride to kind of do the same here. You know what I mean? So with Marvin Harrison and my prediction being limited, which I think is going to happen because J.C. Horn's going to do his thing. Even Mike Jackson, I'm starting to, a guy who I was kind of iffy on, I'm starting to kind of buy in on him a little bit. Now I know it was week one; they didn't really have nobody in front of him, but he did a decent job. So Trey McBride is probably going to be our biggest threat after my man Connor, who's probably going to be running that thing to the tune of about 18 carries. I believe he's going to get about 18 touches out of the backfield. They don't really have any other weapons. You'll be surprised when it comes to this Arizona Cardinals team. For this team to be such a decent team, last year we knocked them out the playoff. But when you look at their wide receiver room, outside of McBride and you got the tight end McBride and you got the wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., it's not a whole lot there. You know what I mean? A guy who I do expect to make some plays today is Michael Wilson. You know what I mean? With Harrison being locked up, I expect Michael Wilson. He had a quiet day. I think he had like 2 catches or 1 catches last week. He's not going to stay quiet. He is a end zone threat as well. So expect from Michael Wilson. You'll hear that name often. Trey McBride to do their thing, but I don't know why they didn't get a compliment to go outside of Marvin Harrison there, man. Maybe they felt good about it. Maybe it's the offensive scheme. Now, the biggest little guy I haven't talked about is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a lot of things, right? People try to compare him and Bryce together. No, sir. No, ma'am. Bryce and Kyler Murray would never be the same, even if they were on the same planet, born by the same mom, and gave birth from the same umbilical cord. They're not the same. The stature-wise, I guess that's about the best comparison you can get. But the way Kyler Murray plays the game and his ability to extend plays is just out of this world. And that's what makes him dangerous. Okay, not to mention he has a acceleration button on him. He's like a water bug almost. You know what I mean? Water bugs, they're not big in stature. You know what I mean, compared to us, but they just move. Their ability to excel. They move quickly. You know what I mean? And they can extend plays. He was sacked last week to the tune of 5 times, and they still won that game. So if we can get Kyler Murray wrangled up and settled down and make him just a pocket passer, I like our chances. If you get him out on the edges and the boots and coming out there like that, it's probably going to be a long day. My biggest question for this team is this Carolina Panthers run defense going to show up? Last year, O'Connor carved us up to the tune of over 178 yards rushing, and he got hurt. And we still won that game at home. So I don't know, man. This defense, week one against Travis Etienne, who was coming off about 2 years of mediocre performance. I guess, if you're having a bad career, you're having a bad year, having a bad performance, play the Panthers and you all of a sudden come to life. But, we made a lot to do about nothing when it comes to this defensive line. We brought in Trevor Wharton, we brought in Bobby Brown and Derek Brown, the all-pro supposed to come back, and we still gave up darn near 200 yards rushing here. Who are you? My challenge today is, who are you, Carolina? Up front, who are you? I played in the trenches, man, when I was in college, and also played in high school as well. And it takes a special kind of man to allow for another offensive lineman or another 300-pound plus man to mow you down. It is a very demasculating feeling. In week one, this defensive line got demasculated. So if that's how you want to be, I would imagine, I would hate. Just think about this defensive line. I would hate to go somewhere for over 18 weeks, hot in the summertime, cold in the wintertime, and watch another 300-pound man pancake me all day long. How do you go home and face your wife? How do you go home and face your kids knowing that daddy just got mowed into the ground? So defensive line, I'm challenging you, man. Let's rewrite the storyline on this, but I'm in a full state of panic. I'm in the full state of panic with this D-line. I'm in full state of panic with this team as a whole. You know what I mean? We're coming off an abysmal week one showing. Bryce Young doesn't look like he has made any kind of strides. And if you ask me, this could be his swan song today, depending on what kind of performance we see out of him. And I'll get to him in just a second. But the Carolina Panthers need this win in so many more ways than the Arizona Cardinals needs it. We don't need it just because we need to get in the win column. We also need it for morale. The Carolina Panthers struggled all week, man. Different kind of narratives, injuries. I'm hearing Bryce Young's temperament. I'm hearing guys turning their backs on one another. Not to mention in the front office, we had a PR communication personnel make a very insensitive comment about the late Charlie Kirk. All right, rest in peace. So, I mean, from the organization top to bottom, it's in shambles right now. It seems like they're not focused. Remember I did a video? I don't know if you guys remember. I did a live stream. Is this team focused? Matter of fact, it's this organization focus. And I guess we're going to get our answer here today. What I mean? You're darn sure in a state of panic at 0-1. If you go back home 0-2, facing the Atlanta Falcons, who more than likely is going to have their hands full against the Minnesota Vikings, you know what I mean? It could be trouble. Now let's talk about Bryce Young, what we need to see out of him. If the Carolina Panthers are smart, you know what I mean? They'll keep the ball out of Bryce Young's hand. Now I know I hear it in the past, and I haven't heard it on this show. You got to use the quarterback to win. You got to throw. Obviously, yes, you got to throw to win. But at the end of the day, man, Bryce is not that guy. Bryce is not that guy, and every time he drops back, he doesn't scare me because I'm thinking he's going to get hurt. He scares me because I think he's going to make a bad decision. Bryce looks shell-shocked. He looks panicked. When somebody of the same stature and Kyler Murray looks calm and cool under pressure. If I told you last week Bryce only got sacked to the tune of one time, would you tell me we won that game? Yeah, you probably would have. He got sacked one time and we lost that game horribly. So I'm running out of excuses. I'm running out of answers for Bryce. One time sack, you lose that bad. I don't know what else to think about Brycey Poo. I wish the best for Brycey Poo. I'm thinking they're going to throw it to about 30 times today. And I think they're going to run it about 16, 17 times with Chuba. And then maybe Rico Dowdle get some touches, but we got to come out this thing with a win. It's no ifs, ands, or but. Another guy who needs to step up is Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette is on the hot seat to me. If you guys don't know, on my previous channel, I stated that Xavier Legette will be a tight end before it's all done with. Well, to prevent that, you got to start showing up as a wide receiver here. And I think he will. Today, I think Legette has a big game here today. I think you got an incoming game from Legette. Legette shows up, probably gets about 67 yards. It's going to be a big game for Legette today, man. He's been doing a lot on online social media. Not to say I judge anybody, but your first profession is a football player, right? Your first profession as a football player. So, I don't mind you doing commercials and riding around with horses and eating barbecue sandwiches and dating rappers. I don't mind none of that, as long as you do your first profession really, really well. But with all that being said, there's a lot of weight on Xavier Legette's shoulders, no pun intended. I think he shows up big today. Yeah, Legette makes some magic. Another guy who I think will have a mediocre day, T-Mac. I think T-Mac's week one aspirations of showing up, carving up the Jaguars was pretty good. Pretty good here. I would like to see that connection still extended. I got him for about 50 yards off of 4 catches. I think Will Johnson, man, I don't know if you guys know, the cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals, the guy from Michigan, who they went in the second round, who I believe we should have got, looks real good. Will Johnson looks good, man. Will Johnson looks good. So I mean, to me, I think he's going to do a good, solid job taking away T-Mac. In practice, I watched some clips of him and Marvin Harrison going at it, and it looks good. He's really aggressive, real physical, man. So I expect for T-Mac to kind of have his hand full today, which is going to lead to other people stepping up. And that guy will be Xavier Legette, or hopefully, in theory, will be Legette. I think Chuba Huber, you can't go away from that. You know what I mean? As well. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to balance this thing out. I'm looking forward to this game. With all that being said, y'all, um, I still got this game being competitive, but I got us losing, right? I got us losing this game here. Probably a close game, right? Oh, here's another prop. I don't know if you guys know. Easy money. So if you want to do a 3-man prop right here, here, let me stop the videos. If you want a 3-man prop, take Bryce Young's passing attempts under 32. I got him at 30. If you want to take our kicker, Matt Wright or Ryan Wright, whatever the name is, take him over 1.5. I like him up to 3. I actually like him up to 3 field goals. All right. So take him at 1.5, which is, the safe bet. Then pair him with a freebie. Okay. So again, Bryce Young under 32 passing attempts. Somebody write this down. I got him at 30. Got him at 32, under 32 passing attempt. Take our field goal kicker for at least 2 field goals. Yeah, I feel really good about that. Really good about that if you want to play it safe and pair it with something else. But yeah, so our field goal kicker's gonna get down. Bryce, man, hopefully he can just kind of stay out the way. The only way I see Bryce not making it back to Atlanta, making it back home to play against Atlanta, he has to have abysmal showing. I'm talking about multi-pick game. I'm talking about the game's blowed out late like it was again or early. If Bryce come out here and we get blowed out early, dog, man, I think it could be goodbye for Bryce. It's hard for me to see the Tepper family come out and put Bryce on the field as a home opener after he has multiple interception games, right? I just don't see it here, man. So, best of luck to him, man. Let me put the link in the chat again. If you guys want to come up and give me your opinion, I welcome it. Make sure you be on your best P's and Q's here. Let me know what you think about today's game. I definitely think it's going to be a interesting game, man. I honestly do. I honestly do think it's going to be an interesting game. But with that being said, I think it's enough. Let me ask you guys a question. What will it take for Bryce to make it back to Charlotte playing against the Falcons here? You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think. I honestly think that it has to go. It has to go bad. The best case scenario for Bryce, we lose by 6 or something like that. Bryce has a mediocre game, but he doesn't do anything stupid, and at least gets him another week. You know what I mean? Bryce come out here and have a mediocre game with a bunch of turnover. I think it's over. You know what I mean? If we get blowed out, it's over, man. You know what I mean? It's over for Bryce. I can't see Tepper. As a fan, you don't want to sit there and put that product on the field. You know what I mean? Especially as a home opener, man. And if that's the case, man, what do we do? Do we turn to Dalton? Do they look to trade him? You know what I mean? These are real questions that we got to ask. Hopefully by 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock tonight, I don't have to answer these questions. I can sit up here sing Sweet Caroline with you guys. But the reality is that's probably unlikely to happen, man. The link is in the chat if you want to chop it up with me. Also got it in my Discord if you guys want to hop in. Again, just be on your best behavior here. Let me go to the chat and read a couple questions. What about Buda Baker? Buda Baker is who Buda Baker is here, man. Last week he had over 10 total tackles, man, and 1 tackle for loss. So, look, that defense is legit. 6 sacks last week against Spencer Rattler. So, that secondary is legit. They're not to mention they got old man Calais Campbell up front. If Ikem Ekwonu was out again, can Josh Neiman do what he did last week? He only gave up, 1 sack? You know what I mean? The offensive line only gave up 1 sack, excuse me. So, you know what I mean? I think they're going to have their hands full against this Arizona Cardinals defense. You know what I mean? You can't – it's only so many ways you can splice this playbook for Bryce. I honestly – and I can't prove this, but this is my opinion. I honestly believe that this playbook has been watered down to the lowest degree. You know what I mean? I don't think they're running no complicated plays because Bryce's physical stature isn't allowing him to do so. He's not a 6'5", blah, blah. Why would you draw up plays that are efficient for a 6'5" guy? So I honestly think everything that Bryce has and needs and wanted is here. They got your reduced playbook. You got a nice, friendly coach. They ran Frank Wright out of here because Frank Wright was too tough on him, right? You got a friendly playbook. You got a nice friendly coach. You finally got two receivers that can stretch the field. You got $100 million offensive line. I don't know what else to do for Bryce. You know, when I looked at his interception that he threw, that really kind of took the win out of us as a fan base. It was the pass that he threw to the tight end, he was trying to get to the tight end, and it got pick six or got picked off. I mean, that was not a complicated play. It's either there or it's not there. It's either there or it's not there. So when I go back and look at film and I see Bryce making plays like that, where you're literally forcing it into a tight end that's double covered, what do you want me to say? Usually the tight end check down is probably one of the safest passes that you can actually do. You know what I mean? That's usually one of your safety valves. If you're throwing interceptions on your safety valve, man, good Lord, man. I mean, So I don't know. I don't know. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm coming out here and running that ball probably about 30 plus times. And then probably just chunking it to screens to get ETN. Let's do a couple screens. Do a couple bubble screens with Leggett. Couple check downs to Chew, but I'm not trying to stretch that ball down the field. And unfortunately, I know, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a quarterback. You have to stretch the ball down the field. But unfortunately, we just don't have that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be opportunities for that, but dropping back 30 plus, over 30 plus times is not a recipe you don't want to do against the Cardinals. It's not a good recipe. Shout out to Anthony Woodward. Do you think J.C. Horn has a pick today? I don't know about a pick. I won't go that far to say it's a pick, but I think he has a good game. I think he has a couple pass breakups, if you ask me that. I think J.C. Horn's going to lock down Marvin Harrison Jr. That's just my opinion. I think he comes out, he shows up today. He's, based off week one, what he did against Brian Thomas Jr., I like Horn. When healthy, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And I think he's, I don't have any indicators why he can't handle Marvin Harrison Jr. Matter of fact, I think he doesn't get enough credit. You ask me, I think he has a good day. I don't know about pick. I'm not willing to go there. You know what I mean? Shout out to West Coast Carolina. He said the issue with Bryce is even when he has a good game, he's prone to having a bad game after week 3 is going to be wild. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say hypothetically he does come out here, has a good game. You know what I mean? He's madly inconsistent. Do you guys feel some kind of way that him and Dave Canales had a couple spats on the sideline? Now, I did see a video where he mouthed the unsavory word to Coach Canales. I think he called him the MF word, or the camera zoomed in on him. They got him saying MF or whatever you want to say here. But if you ask me, dog, Bryce, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Some people say he's spoiled. Some people say he's spoiled just as a young man. I watched a high school documentary of him on Tubi. It's called like Quarterback U or something like that, Quarterback something. And I seen a little bit about Bryce, and there's a little bit of arrogance. He's not as vocal when it comes to like his bravado, right? Ego. I mean, I think every quarterback has an ego. You know what I mean? He has a quiet ego. It's one of them things where it's very deceptive, right? It comes off as churchy, comes off as real intellectual, real humble. But there's them be the worst ones. Yeah, them quiet ones. I just want to thank the Lord. Those kind of ones. Yeah, them will be behind the party. Oh, they be in the party. Oh. So yeah, I mean, I don't have him going back and forth with Canales, to me, you know what I mean? Canales seems like a sweet young man, you know what I mean? I don't know why, maybe that ego's getting to him, you know what I mean? Now he's out here dancing at the first downs and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Bryce. He's doing everything but party, man. I mean, everything but playing good, man. Shout out to what's up, Doug. So shout out to you for the new sponsorship partner. Big Cat, make sure you get that nasty cane box. I love Raising Cane's. Don't disrespect Raising Cane's. Shout out to Joseph. He said, man, just let him bury himself. Throw the ball and let him bury himself, so the way we can get rid of him. If he can't be an NFL quarterback, we got to drive and stop playing babying him. Facts. Absolutely, man. And I think that's pretty much the formula for Bryce Young to be out of Carolina. You know what I mean? Film don't lie. Whether you like my takes or whether you hate my takes, film doesn't lie. So, if Bryce wants to be unemployed, keep playing the way you're playing. I mean, and to sit up, if anybody sits up here and criticizes Dave Canales' playing calling, anybody sits up here and criticize uh, the help that we have around Bryce, I'm gonna say this: I don't think you know football, and that's a slap in the face. You got all these people in that building making over X amount of millions of dollars to help this team be efficient, and you're gonna sit here and tell me none of that stuff they scouted and did and helped for Bryce works? You're going to tell me wide receiver, $100 million offensive lineman, bringing in free agent pieces, new coaching. None of that stuff works. Yeah, I would question your football acumen if you sit here and say, well, Bryce not the problem. It's everything else, the weapons, the coaching. Yeah, sure. You're just out here giving out. They out here hiring people, making millions of bucks to make this team better just so they can say that it doesn't work. Yeah, okay. Doesn't sit well with me. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. Good morning, Big Cat. Let's be positive today. Hopefully Bryce get benched. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want him to get benched. I just want to win, man. I don't care if it's with him or not without him. You know what I mean? I just want to win, dog. But it is what it is. Shout out to Chris Shepard, man. How you doing, brother? He said, if we get blown out early today, Bryce may be taking a dive. Well, it is what it is at this point, man. Shoot, you know what I mean? At this point, I mean, I'm not going to shed no crocodile tears. I ain't going to shed no crocodile tears. Like I said, I'm a fan for a while, man. Been a fan since 1999 to the late early 2000. And this is not the brand of football I subscribe to. I don't subscribe to this Carolina Panthers football. The football team I know was a defensive led football team that, if you came into Carolina lacking, they rock your snot box, or they went on the road and rocked your snot box. This team right here, they're soft, they're undisciplined. You know what I mean? They're whiny, they're inconsistent, they're young. You know what I mean? And it's sad that the fans actually have to, imagine being the fool that pays $200, $300 for NFL Network or excuse me, NFL Sunday League Pass just to watch your team get beat like that. Imagine being a fool paying X amount of thousands of dollars for the season tickets at the stadium. So yeah, man. Shoot, bro. This is not the brand I subscribe to. That's why it's hard and I apologize to you guys. I haven't been up on my content like that because I haven't been motivated. Gonna be honest with you. So I don't blame you if you went elsewhere. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to get up for this, dog. I love this team. I love what I do, but at the same time, I'm human. It feels like, no matter how much I love and cheer and support and even inform others about, what needs to happen and change, it's really hard to get up for this as a content creator, as a fan, and just as a person in general. Okay? But let's, be positive today, and I say that we can, start the change here. It's definitely a must-win game. Last week was a must-win game. Yeah, so today's definitely a double must-win game, I guess. You go home 0-2, somebody's going to get fired. You can't go home 0-2. If you ask me, we're in our softest part of our schedule. Cardinals, Jaguars, Patriots, Falcons. Only tough team in theory was the Falcons, if you ask me. But the fact that we lost to one of our easy teams doesn't sit well with me, okay? You're looking at probably, 3 to 4 wins out of this team. Shout out to Jacoby Jefferson. Hey, man, thank you, brother. He says, we say some wild things as a fan base. Bryce, in year 2 of a system, we want eliteness, but we used to losing and overreacting to one game. Fan base is trash. That is real. Well, yeah, man. Fan base is trash. Overreacting, not so much. When you take a guy number 1 overall, and he's 6 and 23? There's no overreacting to that. Overreacting is having a guy like Brock Purdy, who was literally the last man drafted a couple years ago, and saying, oh, man, that guy's going to be nothing because of where he was drafted. And then he turns around and take you to 2 Super Bowls. That's overreacting, saying because you were drafted last in the league, you're not going to be good. And then you turn around and take your team to the 2 Super Bowls. That's a number 1 overall pick with 6 wins in 3 years? No, sir, that's not overreaction. That's called frustration. That's a funny way to spell frustration. That's a funny way to spell frustration. That's not overreacting. Number 1 overall pick on the net you 6 win. Yeah, Guess we're overreacting. Shout out to Jacoby. He said, never said it's the fans' fault. I'm saying we overreact after one game. Sir, it's been 3 years, sir. I respect your opinion respectfully, but it's been 3 years, sir. Sir, it's been 3 years, man. Sir, it's been 3 years for a number one overall pick. $100 million offensive line, two number one receivers, two first round receivers. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, what you want me to say? Give me some more time. All right, let's roll with it. I love you, brother. Thank you for your support. I honestly do. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Big Iron. He said it's overreacting 6.24. Yeah, man, I hear you. Good to see you, brother. Shout out to T Gree. We winning today, bro. Okay. I'm with that. Listen, man, I'm all about positive energy, man. If we do win today, man, I definitely will give you your credit. Yeah. Let's win. And I hope we do win. I tell you one thing I do know. I do know that Legette's gonna have a big day, man. I'm back in Legette today, man. I'm riding that horsey. We're riding Legette today, man. Put the horse emoji if you believe Xavier Legette's gonna have a big day today. And while you're doing that horse emoji, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, man. We will be live on Assist as well as YouTube at 4:05 p.m. to cover the game play-by-play. Again, hit the like button, share, subscribe. I thank you and greatly appreciate it. And also put the horse emoji if you're backing Xavier Legette for a big day. I like Legette for a big day today. Why not, huh? He deserves one. He needs one. He's been doing an Old Spice commercial, making chicken sandwiches. It's time for him to have a big day. I think he's in for one. Shout out to Chris for that super sticker. I told y'all to put the horse emoji. Nobody's backing it. Nobody's backing Legette. I told y'all to put the horse emoji. Nobody's putting it in the chat. Okay. I guess we'll see. Shout out to Don Johnson. He said, doesn't Bryce Young only have one win on the road in 2 years? I don't have those numbers in front of me, but it wouldn't be far-fetched from what I would believe, huh? Shout out to Gabe Mack. He says, what he mean is we're losing today. What he says is what we mean is we used to losing. We're tired of losing. Absolutely. Yeah, we're tired of losing, man. We're definitely tired of losing, man, as a fan base, dog. You know, let me tell you something. I don't know if the organization or anybody's listening or anybody affiliated with them, but here's the thing. As a fan, you know what keeps me going in life? You know, and this is probably for most of you guys. When you wake up Monday morning, most of you guys are underpaid, underappreciated in your marriage, underappreciated on your job. And hey, a lot of you people are just downright miserable. But you know, Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, when your team goes out there and they put on a good showing and they pull through and they win, even though it's entertainment, for some reason, even if it's just for a day, that game allows for you to go to work and feel like I don't care about being underappreciated. I don't care about being underpaid. I don't care about being in a sucky marriage. I don't care about that bad relationship, kids acting all bad. I don't care about politics because my team won. For just a split moment in time and reality, you feel slightly better about yourself, right? Just all over the entertainment game. But what happens when you are already underpaid, underappreciated, wife, kids hate you, job boss man hate you, and then every week your team is getting their brains stumped out. It makes life harder. So my point to you is a simple game can mean so much to a morale, not just for the players, but for the fans, man. It makes me think them $10 are all right. Them $10 you getting paid just may be a little bit all right. You know what I mean? So, hey, what I know, it's just a football game, right? All right. Any more questions in the chat? Shout out to Junkie. He said, Jacoby, y'all been saying fans overreact after week one for the past 3 years. Well, man, you know, some people feel like, overreacting is overreacting. I don't know. Shout out to Midnight. He says, blank XL and his chitlin eating burger. Shout out to Midnight. He says blank XL and that chitlin eating burger. I'm not gonna read the rest of that. Thank you, brother. Shout out to T Green. He said Carolina Panthers win 21-17. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Shout out to Big Shady. He said facts. Yeah, man. Going to work sometimes after a win, knowing you underpaid and stuff, knowing you're underappreciated at home, just feels good. I know it's leisure, and that's something the front office has to understand, man. You know what I mean? This little moment, Sunday moment, feels just amazing when you're able to have a Panthers win. Shout out to Chef 85. He said, "Do you see Evero getting fired mid-season? Do you think we go back to the 4-3 defense?" No, no. I mean, if we're giving up 40 plus a game, probably so, man. I mean, we got to be giving up some serious points, man. And I don't know. I don't even know if Evero is necessarily the problem, man. Maybe he is, man. You know what I mean? I ain't never really known Carolina to run a 3-4 defense, man. We've been a 4-3 defensive kind of team as long as I've been a fan. Maybe the Carolina Panthers are just trying to reinvent the wheel here. Maybe it's the players. I do think Evero does. If we continue to lose and give up 20 plus or whatever, I think at the end of the season, I mean, firing Evero in the middle of the season does nobody any kind of good, right? Who's our backup defensive coordinator? Who's our defensive assistant? If you fire Evero in the middle of the season, who's his assistant? Was it D'Angelo Hall? You really want D'Angelo Hall to be making decisions on the defense? I mean, at some point, obviously, I think it's inevitable. If we continue to struggle defensively, you fire him. But middle of the season, I don't know if that's necessarily the best answer. It is what it is. Shout out to Chef. Oh, shout out, you read that question. Psyop says, start James Conner today. Absolutely. If you're playing fantasy football, there's no reason why he should be on your bench. I don't believe in this run defense. I don't believe in this run defense. And I definitely like James Conner to run wild, along with McBride to do his thing. And here's a sleeper pick, man. You may disagree with me. Take Michael Wilson for the Cardinals. I think Michael Wilson has a big day because I think Marvin Harrison's going to be neutralized. So just remember I said it. Shout out to Dr. Mitter. He said, Ejiro Evero is Tepper's boy. Tepper wanted the 3-4. We've been all different type of schemes trying to figure it out. We don't have enough pressure. Yeah. When you're running a 3-4, man, you got to have the personnel for that, right? You know, when you look at the teams that run a 3-4, you look at the Steelers, you look at the Ravens, look at their linebacking core. Look at their edge rushers they have in that 3-4 defense. I'm going to tell you this, man. I like our linebacking core. I think it's sneakily good, but I mean, in compared to what you need to execute a 3-4, I don't think it's that. You know what I mean? You got T.J. Watt up there and up in Pittsburgh. You got, Roquan Smith and them boys in Baltimore. You know what I mean? We're out here running 3-4 defense with, rotational players. Rosenboom and DJ Wanham's, I think his best days are behind him. Maybe I was wrong on DJ Wanham. I say he will be the breakout player of the year on defense. And I don't know, man. Shoot, brother. I don't know, brother. I don't know what's wrong with us, man, defensively. Derek Brown and that D line, man. I got love for Derek Brown. I know Mama Brown. Shout out to Mama Brown, man. But I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had an answer for you. I really do. Yeah. Shout out to Chandler Chess. He says James Conner gonna rush for 200 yards. Shoot, brother. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? You're preaching to the choir at this point if that happens. I mean, yeah. So my bold prediction for you guys is I got J.C. Horn locking up Marvin Harrison. Okay. I got Trey McBride having a big day. I got Xavier Legette having a big day. Okay. So those are my 3 bold predictions here. What else I got for you? I guess I'm gonna stay. Oh, and the kicker. Our kicker goes over 3 field goals. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we'll see. That's my bold prediction for you. Marvin Harrison's probably again locked up is probably the biggest bold prediction, right? Yeah. Shout out to Hendon. Shout out to Chef 85. He says, "Would you start Hendon hookers in a few weeks if Bryce continued to struggle?" Hey, listen. Let me make this clear. Let me make this real clear to you, and not just you, brother. I mean everybody. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, hey. Stop it. You're torturing yourself. Stop it. Nobody's coming to save you. Hell is hot. You might as well put them gasoline draws on, baby. Let it burn. We ain't Hendon hooker, tendon hooker, chicken tender. Nobody's coming to save you, brother. Stop. Everybody keep typing this Hendon hooker stuff as if this boy's been here like 10 years and got experience. Stop. You want to be saved so bad. Nobody's coming to save you. It's hot in here. Yeah. It's meant to hurt. I told you relax your expectations from the beginning. Didn't I tell you that? So beginning of the season, relax your expectations. Didn't I say that? Now we already talking about, well, bring in Hooker. No, nobody's saving this. Nobody's saving this. Sit back. You about to do what I'm about to do. I'm finna go get me a case of Coronas and sit back and watch this. That's what I do. I'm not promoting alcoholism, but shoot, man. Matter of fact, I stopped drinking. I'm finna go get me a Corona, sit back and watch this mess. But yeah, Hendon Hooker ain't saving you, dog. Hendon Hooker just trying to get his leg to heal, okay? He's just trying to get his leg to heal, let alone learn this playbook. Now, holler at me next offseason when he had a full season here or whatever, or maybe hell, holler at me about the last 5 games or something. Maybe they'll probably put him in the last 5 games. But nobody's saving you, dog. I get it. Hendon Hooker made it. Y'all seen I didn't make a video about that, right? Y'all seen all these other podcasts making videos about Hendon Hooker, right? You see how they make one. Because it's nothing but it's a fallacy. I'm going to dangle the hopes of a new quarterback. Let me tell you something. I'll give you an example. And I'm talking about quarterbacks here. Have you ever been in a horrible relationship? Have you ever been with it's a horrible girlfriend, right? Or if you're married, a horrible wife, right? Our horrible wife is Bryce Young. Now, when you go out and you go to eat in public and you go out shopping or you go out and do family event, you bring that horrible, miserable girlfriend or the horrible, miserable wife with you, right? And every time you go out, you always see that next little hot, petite little thing. You're always looking like, man, what if? Man, I wonder. You go to the barbecue with the horrible wife, horrible girlfriend. Man, I wish I could be with her. Go shopping. Man, I wonder. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's called a dream. In the grass, and they're always greener on the other side. You don't know what you're going to get if you get with that girl. You know what I mean? You don't know what it's just you dreaming, you're lusting because you're in a bad situation with the current girl you're with. You feel me? That's us. You're lusting right now. You're lusting for anything. You can look at a girl that's clearly a 6 and you look at her like, man, I can't imagine being with her. She look all right because you're deprived of quality football. You're looking at Bryce and see how horrible he is. So you're looking at the girl that looks like a 6 and you're saying, man, you know what? She all right. I see potential there. That's how y'all sound when y'all talking about Hendon Hooker. She's all right. You know, she might be. No, Hendon Hooker, no, bro. I'm not being mad at you, brother, but I'm just, I'm sick of the games, dog. I'm over it, dog. No. Okay. Shout out to Chef 85. He said, we definitely in gasoline underwear. And you're right. Real fans want to win. We are tired of this crap. Absolutely, dog. You know how they say they got some kind of fatigue? You know how they say they got a certain kind of fatigue? Well, I have that fatigue too, but I got Bryce fatigue next. Y'all know how how it's trending on the internet. They got fatigue, right? Yeah, I got that fatigue too, but I got Bryce fatigue more. Yeah, I just want to win, man. I've never been to a playoff game, ladies and gentlemen. That's a dream of mine, man. Never been to a playoff game. Want to be able to sit amongst the bank and go to a playoff game, dog. See what that like. The atmosphere. I've been to Monday night football games, and I remember how just dope it was on Mint Street. It was just the city was alive, man. I just, ladies and gentlemen, all jokes aside, that's just what I want, man. I'm a simple man, dog. Let me tell you something. I don't have everything in life. You know what I mean? I'm not the richest man in the world, not the most handsome man in the world. You know what I mean? I just, I like to eat good. I like a piece of, and I like, football, man. You know what I mean? That's too much to ask, and I like to root for a winning team. You know what I mean? Sure, I'll take $1 million, but hell, reality, man, that's not, it's not, right there right now. You know what I mean? So me waking up every Sunday praying to God that this team wins, is that too much, Lord? Come on, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share, subscribe, brother. Okay. Make sure you hit the like button. Do that for me, man. Make sure we'll be back 4:05. Got about 10 more minutes. I'll give you 10 more minutes of my time. Any questions, any more concern? Make sure you follow the sponsor live on Assist. The link is at the Q&A section in the chat. Do me a favor, man. Hit that Q&A section. You'll see the live stream. Follow me over there on live on Assist, okay? We're multi-streaming today. Okay. Shout out to Wallace the drummer. He said same. Facts, man. Yeah, we're simple guys, dog. I don't want much. You know what I mean? Don't want much. Shout out to Chandler. He said, bruh, the man won one game on the road in 3 years. You got to be trolling. Oh, he's talking to the guy in the chat. Okay. I hear that. Do I plan on going to any games this year? Look, man. I know a lot of you guys, or some of you guys have met me when I'm in my Carolina Panthers cat suit and all that other stuff. And that's so fun. Like, to me, when I go to the stadium, that's the funnest part. It's not necessarily about the game because I know what I'm going to get with the game. It's interacting with the fans, the people, But it's hard right now, ladies and gentlemen, for me to really, come out there and give you that love like that because I don't feel it, man, from, this organization, man. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel like a product, you know what I mean? That I want to kind of, go all in on. You know what I mean? It's kind of like yesterday when I went to McDonald's, I got a double bacon quarter, man. And, they messed it up. Well, here's the crazy thing about it. The remake. I took it in there and got a remake, and they messed up the remake. That's how I feel like with the Carolina Panthers. Here I am. I'm hungry. You see how skinny I'm getting? I'm being facetious here, but, I went in there. They messed up my order. I give them another chance to remake it, make it right, and they messed it up again. That's what it's like being a Panthers fan, and you're hungry. Yeah, that's what it's like. So it's hard. Yeah, I mean, long story short, will I be at the game, man? I mean, I'll probably be giving my condolence. I mean, my support from afar. Did I get it right the first time? Yeah. That's what it feels like to be a Panther fan. Shout out to Sobs. He said McDonald ain't what it used to be. Absolutely, man. What's crazy is I'm a Burger King man, but Burger King's no better, brother. They're no better. They can't get it right if you give them a cooking book. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. Maybe North Carolina hosts a Super Bowl one year. Let's get you out of here. No, I'm messing around. Stop it. We're talking about hosting a Super Bowl. How about let's get back to the playoffs? Shout out to T Green. He said our problem falls on coaching. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. We got to stop, come on, man, with that coaching, dog. You know what I mean? I get it. And see, the problem is a lot of you guys don't want to blame Bryce Young for his role in this, right? He's nice. He's a nice boy. He's a very nice gentleman. I get that. Bryce is very nice. You know what I mean? Very nice. But at the end of the day, he's just not a very good NFL player. Doesn't mean that he's not nice. He got a nice little, taper haircut, and He speaks very well and articulates himself and his emotions and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing personal. He's just not good at this level. Imagine how the people felt when they had Ryan Leaf as their quarterback in San Diego. Imagine how the Raiders fans felt when they had Jamarcus Russell. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of people just like you in the chat talking about, oh, you're not giving him what he needs. Imagine how those fans felt when they got the #1 overall pick and Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell was their quarterback doing this crap. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with the Carolina Panthers organization. Did y'all do something? Was our former owner? Was he? I ain't gonna say that. Is God punishing the state of North Carolina for what happened on the coast? Why the Carolina Panthers can't win? Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to Donovan. He says Big Cat stating facts about Bryce Young, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Chef 85. He said gave this kid over 2 wide receivers drafted in the first round. Yep. $150 million offensive line and no excuses. Yep. And they also gave him a coach that he wanted. Remember, he didn't want Frank Wright. Frank Wright was too tough. Him was too tough for Bryce Young. Yeah. So you finally got everything you need, and now it's still the coach's fault. Sure. Yeah. That's to me, if you're saying it's the coach's fault or anybody else's fault, you're the kind of person that goes to work every day and you're the one on the team. They get everybody making the mistakes and everybody's blaming you. And you're saying it's such and such fault. That lets me know what kind of employee you are. If you're still saying that it's everybody but Bryce's fault, you're probably the guy on the team that's holding everybody back, blaming everybody else back. You know what I mean? You didn't do it. He didn't do enough pool today. He didn't do enough. He didn't. You know what I mean? He didn't do enough today. Niggas be talking about you inside the break room. Yeah, you know that such and such. Man, he's still talking about it's your fault. I can imagine being in that locker room after a loss like that. Imagine losing like that. You know what I mean? You guys got to shower up, you know what I mean? And you got to get ready to get back on the plane. It reminds me of Steve Urkel almost. Imagine Bryce coming in the locker room. Hi guys, we did good today. Guys, we did good today. We just got to do a little better. Look at some film. Now, mind you, man, motherfucker probably opened up his envelope, man. Man, my mortgage due today, man. I don't know if I'm about to get cut tomorrow. Oh, it's okay. God will take care of it. I know them offensive linemen be want to pop him. I know them offensive linemen be want to rock him, bro. Man, we only let you get sacked one time? Well, whatever, man. Shout out to CJ Hill. He said he fanned out. He's a Bryce. Yeah, well, you know. Shout out to Chef 85. He said the culture is soft, nicer head coach. It matches a short quarterback. Yeah, absolutely, man. I definitely think this organization is soft. This organization is soft, man. Very soft organization. And it's crazy because you look at successful organizations, usually they're built tough. Look at the Patriots, not as of late, but in the past, the Patriots, 6 Super Bowls? Tough. They've been known for tough defense, tough coaching. Look at the Steelers in their heyday. Tough coaching, tough defense, tough players, tough culture. Look at the Ravens. Tough coaches, tough players, tough defense. Historically, I don't mean just as of now. I'm talking about historically. Go look at these teams that have won. They have a culture of toughness. And I don't mean just physically tough. I mean mentally tough. Guys who can focus on the duress, going on the road and taking care of your business and stuff. You know what I mean? Guys who can control themselves from getting penalties and late hits and stuff. You know? I don't know. Yeah, this has been a culture of softies. And if I'm the Carolina Panthers owner, the first thing I'm doing, week 3, I'm passing out free ice cream cones. Yeah. David Tepper, if you're listening, look, when they get back to the stadium for week 3's game against the Falcons, every fan should get an ice cream cone. A softie. Yeah. Pass out softies for everybody. Yeah. Say, hey, at least you can't win, but I can keep you cool with a soft cone. Because that's what we are. Yeah, pass out ice cream cone. Take one voucher for each fan. Get you a free softie to go along with the play on the field. Funny, huh? Or am I speaking game? I think I'm speaking game. Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. He said he threw them interceptions last week. He said, did I do that? Did I do that? Shout out to Chef 85. He said Bryce is a nerdy gaming kid. Well, he needs a blanket party. Well, we're gonna leave that right there. Y'all wild in the chat. He said Bryce is a nerdy kid that needs a blanket party. Jesus. Jesus. Shout out to Kev 388. What's up, brother? 11 overall offensive lineman, yet the media and the fan base swear they suck. Facts. 11th ranked offensive line, and yet the media and the fan base swear they suck. Yeah, to last time I checked, he was only sacked one time last week. Who fault was that? I guess that was the offensive line's fault. That's why he didn't play good. People just literally, I think they're fanned out and they don't want to see the bad and Bryce. You know, it's funny. You know what's funny? Let me tell you something what's funny about this fan base. Cam Newton has done more for this organization and this fan base, but he gets scrutinized and criticized for so much off the field and even on the field. But he was probably one of the guys who brought us some of our best years as a fan. But this guy here who has done absolutely zero squelch, literally, you guys praise him and make excuse after excuse for him. Cam Newton won an MVP, took us to the Super Bowl, had some good. You know, it was fun watching Cam Newton. Although he was a little obtuse, you know what I mean? He was wearing skirts and kilts and whatever, hats and funny stuff like that. Sure, that was a little odd. But as a fan, who cares when you out there balling? But all I ever heard was Cam this, Cam that, Cam this, Cam that, da 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 da. Here this fool is Bryce Young, 6 wins and 23, 20 games, and you guys treat him like he's the second coming. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I think I'm taking psychology. I'm in school right now. I'm taking psychology. I don't know what that is. Something's wrong with your amygdala. Your amygdala all mess up. It's an unhealthy. It's almost like an Oedipus complex. You got Oedipus complex because your amygdala is in love with somebody who's true. You Stockholm. You Stockholm up. You Stockholm up. Your amygdala status is literally won't allow for you to see any bad about him. You Stockholm. You love him even. You love him even. You love that thing that's clearly abusing you. You Stockholm. Y'all do my damagadas. It's all whack up. Shout out to Chandler. He said, low key, I'm pissed that I'm going to miss the Eagles and Chiefs game because of the Panthers at 4. Yeah, unfortunately, you got to suffer through that. Shout out to Eli Grant. Big Cat, do you think Bryce just needs a change of scenery? Yeah, I think he looks good from a trash can. How's that for change of scenery? How's that from a change of scenery? No? Okay. Yeah, shout out to T Green. Just hope that Austin Corbett don't throw the ball over his head. Yeah, we got to definitely fix that because last week, yeah, there was a couple snaps. There was just 2 things we got to do. We got to fix that, the ball being snapped Dorner over his head, and we got the play clock. I don't know if Dave Canales addressed it. Did he address that? I didn't even watch the press conference. Excuses, they kind of make my head hurt. They do. I didn't watch the press conference because that play clock, we were getting the ball off literally like with 3 seconds left on the clock. Shout out to Lynch. He said, little man about to run all over us. Kyler Murray? Yeah, take his fantasy over. I'm about to give you my score prediction here in just a second. Yeah. Yeah. I'll forgive you my score prediction here in just a second. Just 1 second here. Yeah, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah. I think it's gonna be competitive, man. I do. I think it could be competitive. I think it could be competitive. Mhm. Shout out to T Green. He said the Cardinals could choke. Yeah, we played them tough the last couple of years, man. Or last year we played them tough. I think it's gonna be competitive, man. I'm praying for the Lord's sake, for our sake. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like we got to show up, man. I don't know, man. I'm praying that at least can be, if we're gonna lose, make it competitive, right? I don't want to sit here for 3 hours talking to you guys, getting our brain smack out. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chandler. He said, "Stop the shotgun formation on 3rd and 1. Stop the play calling trash." Yeah, there was a couple questionable play callers against Jaguars. Shout out to T Green. He said, "We believe we're going to show up." I like your optimism, kid. I don't know how old are you. You mind me asking how old you are, T Green? We'll get up out of here in a few minutes. Looks like we hit the 12 o'clock hour. So we're going to get up out of here in just a second. But real quick, I don't know how old you are, gentlemen. Young man, excuse me. Shout out to Carolina Clark. What's up, brother? He said Carolina gets the L. Well, let me ask you this real quick before we get up out of here. What quarterback have y'all been seeing in college? Y'all seen any quarterbacks in college? Keep your eyes on Rocco Beck from Iowa State. Rocco Beck for Iowa State. I've been looking at him. You're gonna get a breakdown coming. Good morning, Panthers Prime. What's up, brother? Pete, Pete, Pete. Yeah, keep your eyes on Rocco Beck from Iowa State. You will get a breakdown from him. A breakdown from me about him. I think I'm having a competitive game. Expect a competitive game today. Xavier Legette has a good game. Yeah, Legette's going to have a good game. Carolina Clark, good morning. Mm-hmm. Chuba should get a lot of volume today. Question is, will our defense show up to stop the run? I think Connor's going to get a lot of volume too. Yep. Shout out to Carolina Clark. He said, "I heard Manning is struggling." No, I don't want Manning. Arch Manning, no. I don't want Arch Manning. I don't want Lenore Sellers. PPP says Bryce better ball out today. Let's hope for it, man. Let's hope for it, man. As a Panthers fan, I can't do no blowout before halftime, or that get old, bro. That get old, bro. I don't know about you guys. It make me hard to record content. I can't do that, bro. I can't sit here and keep, watching that, bro. It's hard, bro. Let's hope for it. Real quick, just as a recap here, if you're new, you haven't already done, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let me give you guys a couple parlay props. Take Bryce Young under 32 passing attempts. Take our kicker for over 2 field goals at 1.5. And take Xavier Legette's receiving yards. Again, if you guys are into parlaying, take our kicker for over 1.5 field goal makes. Take Xavier Legette's receiving yards over. Take Bryce Young passing attempts under 32. And cash at me when you win. So under 32 passing attempts, Xavier Legette's receiving yards, and take our field goal kicker for more than 1.5 field goal. Should be easy money. Shout out to JK Gamer. Hello, Cardinals fan here. I'm scared of y'all. This game only because ever since 2015, y'all had our number, a big 7-1. Oof. Shout out to JK Gamer. Thank you for the subscriber, brother. So you seem pretty chill. Yeah, I'm pretty chill, brother. I can get animated sometimes, but yeah, man, I'm pretty chill. Thank you for your subscribe, man. Yeah. But look, yeah, you should be nervous about the Carolina Panthers, man. What's crazy is you're a Cardinals fan, you're nervous. I'm a Panthers fan, and I'm nervous about the Panthers because you don't know what you're going to get, especially when it comes to playing you guys, right? You know what I mean? I mean, you can't ignore the history of of us going playing against you guys, right? So you definitely got to consider it, just like you got to consider, the changes and the turnovers as well. But at the end of the day, man, I think we got you guys' number, and because of that, I think it's going to be a close game. Something about this year's Cardinal team just seemed a little different to me. You know what I mean? Seems a little different to me. The way you guys went into New Orleans, and I know New Orleans is not a good team, but still, you're going into somebody's home and you literally tore them up. 6 sacks. You know what I mean? Kyler Murray didn't put up a eye-popping stat number, but he was efficient, man, right? Marvin Harrison doing his thing. So, I mean, if you guys did that on the road, it's hard for me to see you guys coming back home and have a letdown. Then again, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just I can't see. I mean, I could see that too. I don't know. We shall find out. I hate that this is the late game, but yeah, I'm optimistic too. I'm optimistic that this will be a competitive game. I'm not willing to put my tongue out there for a win yet. I'm not putting my neck on the line for a win. Not for a win just yet. I do expect for the Carolina Panthers to have a better showing. Here's my score prediction, y'all. Carolina Panthers are +6.5. They're +6.5 underdogs on the road. With the history of the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals as of late at the bank, we give up a lot of running yards. I expect for that to continue to go down. I think Connor tears us up on the ground. J.C. Horn shows up in the big way to stymie Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison will not have a big day today. Okay? Because of that, we will get torched by Trey McBride. Last week, Brent Strange, tight end from the Jaguars. Who? Brent Strange. Somebody's tight end tore us up really good. You are what you put on film, and because of that, I think the Cardinals capitalize what they're seeing on film. Trey McBride has a big day, probably north of 100 yards receiving. Okay? On the opposite side, Xavier Legette, country bumpkin himself, the coon sandwich, man. He has another breakout game, man. Quiet day last week. He definitely had to step up. A lot of people are scratching heads about him. Don't you worry. I think he will show up. He will have a big game today for us. With that being said, Bryce Young limited to just about 30 passes all in total. I think Bryce is efficient, but I still think there's probably a turnover cooked in for the books. Maybe not necessarily 3, maybe 1. But at the same time, I expect for Chuba to kind of go back on the ground and pick up where he left off from last year against you guys. With all that said and done, all the changes, all the matchups, the in and out, +6.5 on the spread underdogs. Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals to lose 27-20. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Hey, listen, man. I bet you didn't see that coming, right? Carolina Panthers go on the road 27-20, beat the Cardinals, man. It's an upset pick of the day, man. Out of all that trash we talk, out of all the unbelief, all that talk, Carolina Panthers finally put one on the scoreboard, man. We're 1-1, man. I got the Panthers 27-20 and a shocking upset of the Arizona Cardinals, man. I feel it, man. I'll be alive, man. You know what I mean? I got us 27-20. 27-20, man. How y'all feel? Y'all didn't see that coming? Y'all make sure y'all come back to this live stream at the end of the game and say, wow, man, he pulled that off, right? 27-20. Everything in my body's telling me don't believe in Bryce, and I don't believe in Bryce, but it's hard for me to see this team come out. If this happens, y'all, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 27-20 Carolina, man, on the road, man. This has been El Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat, and you're watching 1995 The Ring, a channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring the roar in Carolina, y'all. If you haven't already, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget about our sponsor, Live on Assist. We will be going play-by-play at 4:05 p.m. If you don't want to watch it over here, the link for Live on Assist is in the community section. A spoiler-free watch party. So, again, I can set the timer of the game to match up to where it's matched up with your game. You don't have to worry about somebody screaming touchdown too soon or interception too soon. Make sure you follow me on that profile, okay? Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I love you guys. We will be back at 4:05, okay? Get your fantasy football in, get your parlays in. And remember what I told you about the lock of the weeks, man. I love you guys, man. I'll see you guys later.